Yeah, buddy. Welcome back to DR Crypto. My name is Robin. Thanks for tuning in. If this is your first time watching, a little bit about us here. I am Robin. I have a co-host, David. Today, I'm going to be taking lead on this one. We're going to be talking federal government. Now, if this is your first time checking us out, do us a favor, help us out, subscribe, like the channel. We're new, we're growing. Grow with us and help us grow. We really appreciate it. So today we're talking about the federal government. So what brings us onto this subject? Couple things. So we got the new infrastructure bill by your boy Brandon, aka Joe Biden. Now Joe Biden and the Democrats passed an infrastructure bill over $1 trillion. Couple things about this here. So for one, we're stretching out the United States debt and government and spending and printing and that's good for crypto in one way because you're devaluing the money that we have. So in turn, your assets that you're holding on to, real estate, crypto, they tend to grow in value with inflation. So that's always a positive. However, at some point, the endless money printing and spending, we had $3 trillion earlier. This is another trillion. So we're probably around $5 trillion in the last 2 years of excess spending in the form of bailouts and the COVID relief and all of that. So just be wary. The market may crash soon. It's going to crash 100%. But it's just a matter of when. So at some point, the rubber band keeps stretching. It's going to snap. Now, when it does, when the United States market, or maybe it'll be triggered by something else, but either way, when the global market crashes, it's going to take cryptocurrency with it. So just be aware. As of right now, it's good for crypto, but when the markets crash, it's going to be bad for everybody. So now, the infrastructure bill did have a couple things in it that are kind of interesting for crypto. So for one, they put in some wordage of broker. That was kind of like the big talk. If you were checking out a lot of cryptocurrency like websites or anything like that, that was kind of like one of the talking points was that your cryptocurrency broker will have to get your identification, basically your KYC. It's something that we do already. So if you think of it this way, your stockbrokers and all of the other firms like that, retirement firms, they're going to get your information, your social security number, and then they can report any transactions and investments to the IRS. So that way they're going to tax it accordingly. Same thing for cryptocurrency. So now Coinbase and all of them are required by law to do KYC. It's something they were already doing, so it's nothing new for Coinbase or Binance or any of the American exchanges. Just gives them more muscle and more power to go against the international exchanges that you might use. So just be a little weary of using international exchanges, because they're probably going to stop their access with the U.S. People. So either way. Now, what's interesting with that is that a broker also is very loose, is vague. That was the whole turmoil behind it. So am I a broker if I send somebody else $10,000? Or am I a broker if I sell an NFT to somebody else? So it puts up a lot of interesting question marks, and they didn't even, and the whole thing is so vague, they didn't even express that. So my understanding and kind of the general consensus is that the government's really not going to go after the individuals, and they're really going to keep that know your customer and KYC to just the big exchanges. So now, but what makes it very interesting is how they're going to implement this in decentralized exchanges. And to harp on this even more, another part of the bill is that so the reason for it is so that way they can tax you on any transactions over $10,000. So in the way the fiat system in the United States works right now, if I were to send my brother or friend or anyone $10,000, then in turn they have to write my name down, my social security number, the date, and record all that. And they have to pay taxes on it. So you can't just give people tons of money without telling the IRS. So it goes to say that if you're doing that with cryptocurrency, it's the same thing. So now any transactions, whether or not you're selling or buying or sending $10,000, got to write it down. You got to claim that. You got to tell the government. So that's something we got to deal with now. So with that said, the reason they're doing it is so you pay taxes on it. So if you just do the right thing, you're got to pay taxes regardless. So if you're making a lot of money in crypto, just pay your taxes. The government's going to find out, which leads me back to my decentralized exchange. So they're not going to be able to regulate decentralized exchanges, but they're not stupid. So if you get audited, as an example, and they see you have a lot of money in cryptocurrency and you're trying to hide your transactions, it wouldn't be very difficult with the public ledgers that all the cryptocurrencies use to see where your money on your on-ramp. So let's take Coinbase as an example. So if you on-ramp your money to Coinbase and then you take it out and withdraw it and send it to your MetaMask wallet, that's public. So it wouldn't be very hard to figure out what your MetaMask wallet address is. You take the MetaMask wallet address, you put it in an Etherscan. The government can easily do this. And then they can see all the transactions that MetaMask wallet has done. And then see when you move it back to your exchange. So either way, you're not going to be able to hide your transactions from the government. If they want to know what you're doing, they will find out. So just keep that in mind. Now, another thing here, the YouTube and social media and all of these other platforms that are pumping out this narrative of like coins going to $1 million and buy this coin, just be careful. So the reason I bring this up, so I had a friend that messaged me a link, and it was Cardano. Let me just show you actually here. So if you look here, now we have so here you have the Cardano to $500, as you can see here. And then Cardano ADA to be approved by the Federal Reserve before the year's end. There is so much clickbait in this article, it makes no sense. All right, so just to clarify, so if you were to watch this, which I don't recommend watching it, they literally have no supporting argument to this claim. There's no evidence. There's no suggested article or suggested bill, or it's literally so loosely based. It just says the federal government is spending debt, blah, blah, blah. Cardano's great. It doesn't even tie the two together. So just use reputable sources like DR Crypto and do your homework. Don't fall for FUD articles. Now, just to touch on this federal government and blockchain. So the Federal Reserve before year's end approved ADA for its blockchain. Like there is so much interoperability that there's no way that would ever work. So the reason I say this, so you have the United States government with its current fiat system and monetary system that's been built over the last couple hundred years. And for that, it's intertwined with the banking system, the U.S. bank. Then you have interest rates, bonds, all the other derivatives tied in there, IRS. Anyways, it is a super complicated machine that has been built up and upgraded and evolved over time to what we have now, which is this crap thing. But either way, that's what the federal government and Federal Reserve use. And it is not changing. It'll evolve. But then you have cryptocurrency, this blockchain, and that is efficient. It's completely different technology with its own ledger. And anyways, United States government is not going to put that into their system. It's just not compatible. It would be my closest comparison would be if you bought a new Ferrari, as an example, or you have a Ferrari, and this thing has been fine-tuned, hand-built over the years. They improved the model before and the model before, and it has this badass like combustion engine in there, and it's just perfected, and it does what it does. It's a street demon. And then on the other hand, you have an electric motor. And then you were to say, hey, I'm going to take the combustion motor out. I'm going to put this in an electric motor. It's way more efficient. It would not work under any stretch of the imagination. Like it is just built for the combustion. And there's no way you could put that system in there. Like it's just not going to happen. So now you could say an electric vehicle, an electric drivetrain, and the torque and the power that you get, and way more efficient, way more productive than a combustion engine. You can make that argument. But you do understand you can't take the traditional Ferrari that's already built out and put that in there. You have to start from scratch. So with that said, if we go back to the government, you would have to start from scratch. Now, blockchain adoption and government around the world in different governments is a realistic possibility, and it's something that's being built out right now. So if we go back to Cardano as an example, they are partnering with some African countries, and they're working to build out their monetary system on blockchain, on Cardano to be exact. And other chains seem to be going that direction. I mean, you can take like El Salvador with their Lightning Network, but either way, these are institutions and frameworks that haven't evolved and aren't as mature as the United States. And so starting kind of on a from scratch and a lower level, you can build out a federal government and have it use blockchain. So that is a possibility of the future. Just not going to happen here in the US. I just wanted to harp on that because it's not happening here. So now, and then I think that's about it. Yeah. So either way, I just wanted to touch on the federal subject. It's been kind of a buzzword lately. Anyways, thanks for checking us out. If you haven't subscribed, please do. We really appreciate it. We do stream on Wednesdays, on Thursdays at noon. Right now, we're gonna bump it up. Also, David has been doing some videos of himself. We got a new Ave video as well. So please check that out. And then we'll see you next time around. Thanks again.